Hello everyone, in this lecture I am going to discuss about the bipolar junction transistor and configurations of bipolar junction transistor. So, first of all, as name suggests that this is the name is bipolar junction transistor, that is BJT. So, bipolar junction transistor is a 3-terminal device whose operation is dependent on both majority and minority charge carriers. So, because in this operation is dependent on both majority and minority charge carriers, therefore, this device is called bipolar. Therefore, this device is called bipolar device. It has 3 terminals: emitter, base and collector. So, in this figure it has shown that the components available in laboratory, the bipolar junction transistor has 3 terminals, and the picture shows that the components available in laboratories are like this. And basically there are 2 type of transistor: bipolar junction transistor, NPN and PNP transistor. So, emitter, base and collector, in both the transistor will use 3 terminals: emitter, base and collector. So, what is emitter terminal, what is base terminal and what is collector terminal? Emitter terminal is a terminal through which majority charge carriers enter into the, and through which majority charge carriers, or you can say through which majority charge carriers are injected by the and through which majority charge carriers are injected. And base terminal is the terminal through which the charge carriers injected by emitter are collected by the collector. And base terminal is the terminal and the collector terminal is the terminal which collects the charge carriers injected by the emitter. So, what is the dimension and doping level of the emitter, base and collector? So, the direction, if I discuss about the construction of this BJT, then in the BJT there are 3 terminal: emitter, 3 region or terminal, you can say anything, emitter, base and collector. So, if I want to construct this NPN or PNP type, so in case of PNP, if I consider this PNP, so in case of PNP, we will what we have to do, we have to take the same type of semiconductor material and we have to sandwich the another type of semiconductor material in between them. Suppose we have taken this 2p type semiconductor material and we have sandwiched the opposite type of semiconductor material in between the p type semiconductor material. Similarly, if you want to construct this NPN transistor, then you have to take the 2 n type semiconductor material and you have to sandwich this opposite type of semiconductor material in between the n type of semiconductor material. So, what will be the physical dimension of this emitter, base and collector, and what will be the doping level? What will be the doping level of this emitter, base and collector? So, first of all, define the emitter. Emitter is the portion of the one side of the transistor that supplies the charge carriers to the other 2 portions, and the emitter is heavily doped. Emitter is heavily doped. Doping, if I discuss the doping level of this, so the doping level of the emitter, base and collector region is: emitter is highly doped, collector is moderately doped and base is lightly doped. And similarly, we can say that this is the physical dimension. What is the order of the physical dimension of the emitter, base and collector? So, the size of collector is greater than emitter and base. So, this is the order of physical dimension and this is the order of doping level. So, the emitter is highly doped and collector is the portion of the other side of the transistor that collects the charge carriers, and the doping level of the collector is in between the emitter and base. Base is the middle portion of the transistor which forms 2 p-n junction between the emitter and collector. Base region, thickness of the base region is very less and the doping level is very less. So, you can say that the base is lightly doped and very thin. Why we are taking this emitter highly doped, base lightly doped and very thin, collector is large in size and moderately doped. Okay, why we are taking this emitter region is highly doped and collect and base region is lightly doped and very thin. So, the reason is that the emitter is highly doped so that it can inject more number of charge carriers towards the base, and base is lightly doped and very thin because it can, because the less number of recombination should be there in the base, so that large number of charge carriers should be collected by the collector. This is the reason why we are taking this emitter highly doped and base lightly doped and very thin. Now, come to the symbol and construction of this bipolar junction transistor. Symbol for NPN and PNP transistor will be like this. The arrow will decide, arrow between the direction of arrow will decide which one is NPN transistor and which one is PNP transistor. If the direction of arrow is inward towards the base, then it is PNP transistor, and if the direction of arrow is towards emitter, it means this is NPN transistor. So, how will what will be the, how will I define the direction of current of the emitter and of the emitter current? So, whenever I am when I am using this transistor, I will use this transistor as an amplifier, and I will try to make this, if I consider this emitter base PNP, this is the emitter, this is the base, this is the collector, then there are two PN junction, one is between base and emitter and another is between collector and base. So, I will try to make this emitter base junction forward bias and collector base junction reverse bias to operate this transistor in active mode, or to operate this transistor as an amplifier. For operating this transistor as an amplifier, it is necessary that the emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be reverse bias. So, I will make, when I will make this emitter base junction forward bias, so what will I do? I will connect this P type to the positive terminal of the battery and N side to the negative terminal of the battery. For making this collector base junction reverse bias, what will I do? I will connect this P type to the negative terminal of the battery and N side to the positive terminal of the battery. Similarly, for this NPN transistor, for making this emitter base junction forward bias, I will connect this emitter terminal to the negative terminal of the battery, N side to the negative terminal of the battery and P side to the positive terminal of the battery. Similarly, for collector base junction, N side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and base is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So, I will discuss in the next slide that how the emitter current is flowing. So, what are the operations of the bipolar junction transistor? Basically, there are two junctions, and on the basis of the junctions available, that is emitter base junction and collector base junction, there are four possible combinations, that is, one is forward bias, another one is reverse bias. On this basis, there are four possible combinations, but we have considered only here the three combinations, and there are three modes. First one is cutoff mode, second is active mode, and third one is saturation mode. So, when I want to operate this transistor in cutoff mode, I have to make this emitter base junction reverse bias and collector base junction reverse bias. So, as I told you, there exists two PN junctions. So, as I am making this PN junction diode forward bias and reverse bias, I will use the same procedure for making this emitter base junction and collector base junction reverse bias. So, in the active mode, emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be reverse bias. For operating this transistor in saturation mode, the emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be forward bias. And the fourth condition is that when both the junctions are, when emitter base junction is reverse bias and collector base junction is forward bias, so the transistor will operate in inverted mode. This is the fourth combination. So, when the transistor will operate in inverted mode, it will behave as an attenuator, or the application of this inverted mode is a transistor as an attenuator. So, when the transistor is operating in cutoff and saturation mode, it will behave as it can act as an switch, and when the transistor is operating it as an active mode, the transistor will act as an amplifier. So, what are the modes? These are the modes. Emitter base junction is a forward active mode, emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias, and BJT can be used as an amplifier in the analog circuits. Cutoff region, when the both junctions are reverse bias, and in this situation there is zero current flows, the zero current flows through the transistor and it behaves as an open switch, and in saturation mode both the junctions are forward bias and the large current flows through the collector base junction and the transistor behaves as a closed switch. Now come to the operation of transistor in active mode. As I discussed that the emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be reverse bias. So, here we have considered the PNP transistor. So, one junction is PN junction here, emitter base junction. So, for making this emitter base junction, this P type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and N side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So, what will happen? This positive terminal will repel the majority charge carriers of the P side of the PN junction diode, P side of the PN junction diode, and this N side will attract the majority charge carriers of the P side, or you can say minority charge carriers of the N side of the PN junction diode. Similarly, when I am taking this making this collector base junction reverse bias, for making this junction collector base junction reverse bias, what will happen? I will connect this P type to the negative terminal of the battery and the base to the positive terminal of the battery. By making this as I told you that the what will be the thickness of, if I am making this PN junction diode forward bias, if I am making this collector base junction reverse bias, I am making this emitter base junction forward bias. So, as I have already discussed in the PN junction diode that when I am forward biasing the PN junction diode, it means the thickness of the depletion layer will reduce in case of forward bias condition and the thickness of the depletion layer will increase in case of reverse bias condition. So, when we have formed the PN junction diode, so when we have formed the NPN or PNP transistor, as I told you, this is the emitter region, this is the base region and this is the collector region. Emitter region is highly doped, base region is lightly doped and collector region is moderately doped. So, when I sandwich the opposite type of semiconductor material between the same type of semiconductor material, then what will happen? Here one PN junction is formed and another PN junction is formed here between emitter base and collector base. So, the majority charge carriers, or you can say when the opposite type semiconductor will be sandwiched between the same type, a depletion layer will be formed between this emitter base junction and collector base junction. So, what will be the thickness of this depletion layer at the emitter base junction and collector base junction? So, in the emitter base junction, the depletion layer will penetrate more into the lightly doped region. So, base is the lightly doped region. So, thickness of the depletion layer will be greater as compared to the emitter. Similarly, collector base junction, the thickness of the depletion layer will be greater as compared to the base region. So, you can say that the thickness of the depletion layer in emitter side and collector side will be less as compared to the base region in case of no bias condition. So, when I forward bias this emitter base junction, the depletion layer formed in the no bias condition will be reduced, and when I will reverse bias the collector base junction, the depletion layer that has been formed in case of no bias condition, the depletion layer width of the depletion layer will increase. So, now come to the operation of this PNP transistor in active mode. So, I have forward bias this emitter base junction and reverse bias this collector base junction. So, when I forward bias this emitter base junction, what will happen? This positive terminal will repel the majority charge carriers of this P type semiconductor material and the holes will move from emitter to base, and this whatever the charge carriers have been moved from emitter to base, because of the because we have reverse bias this collector base junction. So, the effective width of this base region has been reduced, or you can say the base region is very thin and lightly doped. So, the few charge carriers will recombine with the majority charge carriers of the n side of the semiconductor, n side of the this n side of this PN junction, and the charge carriers that has been not recombined with this majority charge carriers of the n type semiconductor material, they will be collected by the collector, and the charge carriers that has been recombined, they will constitute this base current IB. The whatever the charge carriers that has been injected by this emitter will constitute this emitter current IE, and the charge carriers that has been collected by the collector will constitute the collector current IC. So, what will be the direction of the emitter current, base current and collector current? This negative terminal will attract the holes. So, the direction of current will the direction of base current will be in this direction, because the current constituted by this in this PNP transistor is because of the holes. So, the current constituted by the holes is the current is moving in this direction. So, the current constituted by the holes will be in this direction. Similarly, this negative terminal will attract the majority charge carriers of the holes, and they will be attracted by this negative terminal. So, movement of the holes will be in this direction. So, the current constituted by this holes will be in this direction. So, you can say that this emitter current is nothing but the base current plus collector current, because the base current is constituted by the charge carriers recombined with the majority charge carriers of the n type semiconductor material. So, you can say that the base current is very less as compared to IE. So, you can say that IE is nearly equivalent to collector current IC. So, this is nothing but IE is equal to IC plus IB. One more thing, if I consider this only reverse bias condition. So, in case of forward bias condition, when emitter base junction is forward bias, in that case the current IC will be equal to IC majority, and when I consider this reverse bias condition also, then in that case this total current, or you can say the total current for the total collector current for transistor operating in active mode will be equal to IC is equal to IC majority plus IC minority. What will be the value of IC minority? Value of IC minority will be that when the minority current will flow when the collector base junction is reverse bias. When the collector base junction is reverse bias, I have to ignore this, or I have to remove this emitter base junction forward bias. In that case, it means we have to open this emitter base junction. IC minority will be equal to ICB ICBO, collector to base current when emitter is open. So, this is the configuration of the bipolar junction transistor. So, why we are using this configuration of bipolar junction transistor? What is the need of this configuration? Suppose I want to use this bipolar junction transistor in any circuit, electronic circuit, or any for any application. If I want to implement this any application, then we require two terminals for input and two terminals for output. Whatever the circuit here I am using, here it requires two terminals for output. For making this input and input and output terminal 2, because then BJT we are using only 3 terminals. So, for giving the input to the circuit between 2 terminals and for taking the output between 2 terminals, we have to make the one terminal common of the bipolar junction transistor. By making the one terminal common, we have 3 configuration because the BJT has 3 terminals. So, by making one by one terminal common, if I make this base terminal common, this the configuration is known as common base configuration. If I make the emitter terminal common, then this is common emitter configuration. If I make the collector terminal common, then this is common collector configuration. So, if I make the base terminal common, then the input will be given between emitter and base, and the output is taken from collector and base. Similarly, for NPN transistor, if I make the base terminal common, the emitter is given between emitter and base, input is given between emitter and base, and output is taken from collector and base. For operating this transistor as an amplifier, we have to take the condition of active mode, that is emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. By making this emitter base junction forward bias and collector base junction reverse bias, we can use this common base configuration in the circuit or for the application of amplifier. So, when the emitter base junction is forward bias, it will follow the condition of the active mode, and in this condition we will see that what is the gain of the common base configuration. So, for finding the gain of the common base configuration, what will I do? I will take the output ratio of the output to the input. So, in the both NPN and PNP transistor, output current is IC and input current is IE. Similarly, you can see here the output current is IC and input current is IE. So, the gain of the transistor, gain or amplification of the transistor is denoted by, of this common base configuration is denoted by alpha, and alpha is nothing but output current upon input current. Suppose I want to draw, if I want to draw the input characteristic and output characteristic, so the input characteristic will be drawn between input current and input voltage. Input is given between emitter terminal and base terminal, and output current is IC and the output is taken across collector and base terminal. So, the input characteristic will be drawn between IE and VEB by taking output voltage constant, VCB constant. For different values of VCB, we can draw the input characteristic. Similarly, for drawing the output characteristic, I will draw the output characteristic between IC and VCB, output voltage and output current, by taking different values of input current for different values of IE. Okay. So, now come to the characteristic of this common base configuration. So, in the case of common base, how will you draw the characteristic of this common base configuration? For drawing the characteristic of common base configuration in the laboratory, what will I do? I will take this suppose this is the circuit of I have taken here the NPN transistor. So, I have taken this is the circuit. Here I have considered the NPN transistor, so V is minus and VCC is positive. So I have connected in the same manner. You can check from here. So minus V is this, plus VCC is this, okay, because we have to make this collector based junction reverse bias and emitter based junction forward bias. So how will I measure, how will I draw the VI characteristic, the input characteristic of this BJT, input characteristic of this common base configurations? For making this, for drawing this, what will I do? What will I do? I will vary the value of V. I will vary, and we will find by varying this potentiometer, by varying this resistance, by varying this value of R, you can vary the value of VEB and IMA, and you can get the different values of VEB and IC. You will get the different values of VE, VEB and IE, and for that you can draw, after that you can draw the VI characteristic of this, input characteristic of this PN common base configuration. Or you can say that the, if I consider this is NPN, for this is for NPN transistor, okay. So if I see that this NPN transistor, this emitter based junction is forward bias, so it will follow, the input characteristic will simply follow the forward characteristic of the PN junction diode. So what is the forward characteristic of the PN junction diode? It was the exponential curve, or you can say the current increases after the cut-in potential of the, when the input voltage crosses the cut-in potential of the PN junction diode. So the, before the cut-in potential, the current flowing through the diode is 0, and after the cut-in potential, current increases certainly. So by increasing the value of VCB, you can see from this graph, the, as well as we are increasing the value of VCB, the emitter current IE is increasing. As well as we are increasing the value of VCB, the emitter current IE is increasing. So the output characteristic will be drawn. So the output characteristic will be drawn between IC and VCB, by taking different values of input current IE. So as well as, if I consider from here, you can see that at the particular value of VCB, at the if I consider this VCB value, here we have considered the VCB positive. If I consider the VCB negative, then what does it mean? This junction, if here the VCC is positive, VCB is positive, and V is positive. So if I change this VCB to negative, then the condition of active mode will change. What does it mean? If I change this biasing condition, if I consider this is emitter based junction is forward bias, for making this collector based junction reverse bias, we have connected in this manner. If I take this VCB negative, then in that case transistor will operate in saturation region. It means you have forward bias the collector based junction, and emitter based junction is already forward bias. By making this, the transistor will operate in saturation region. And if I make this condition IE is equal to 0, I have to vary this input current IE from 0 to up to any value. You can consider 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 2, 3, 6, 4, 5 milliampere. So by varying this IE is equal to 0, by putting this I is equal to 0 milliampere, I is equal to 0 milliampere means you have reverse biased this junction, emitter based junction. It means you have reverse biased the emitter based junction, and collector based junction is already reverse biased. It means in that case transistor will operate in cutoff region. Emitter based junction is reverse bias and collector based junction is reverse bias. So in this region, when IE is equal to 0, the transistor will operate in cutoff region, and when VCB is negative, the transistor will operate in saturation region. So when the transistor will operate in active region, when the VE is positive and VCC is also positive. So VEB is also positive and VCB is also positive. So as well as I increase the value of IE, increment in value of IE means we are increasing the value of VCB, or we are increasing the forward bias voltage of emitter based junction. So, by increasing the emitter base forward bias voltage of the emitter base junction, the emitter current will increase. So, as well as the emitter current will increase, as I told you, the relation is IC is equal to alpha I, or you can say IC is directly proportional to I. So, the collector current IC will also increase. So, by increasing the value of I, IC is increasing. So, you are getting the, so IC is almost equal to I, as I have told you in case of this. So, IC is nearly equivalent to I. So, the current as well as the VCB is increasing. So, the current becomes constant for particular value of I. So, in case of active region, so operating range of the, this is the active region is for the operating range of amplifier, and it is notice that the IC is nearly equivalent to I. For cutoff region, the IC is IE is equal to 0. So, when IE is equal to 0, ICEO, that is minority carrier current, ICO is nothing but ICBO. ICBO is collector to base current when emitter is open. So, when the saturation region VCB is equal to 0, the exponential increase in the collector current has been observed by increasing the VCB towards 0. So, a little current flows between the in the saturation region. So, with these are the approximation that I will use while solving the numericals. So, emitter and collector current, the relation between emitter and collector current is nearly equivalent to IC and IE. IC is nearly equivalent to IE because IB is very less as compared to I, and VB is equal to 0.7 volt for silicon diode. Now, come to the amplification factor of the common base configuration. So, amplification factor is defined as the output current upon input current, because the bipolar junction transistor is current control device. So, here I will take only the current gain, and the why this is current control device, as I have already discussed in the output characteristic, or you can say the output current is controlled by the input current. You have drawn the relation between IC and IE. We have drawn the relation IC and VCB output characteristic has been drawn between IC and VCB, and by varying the value of I, by varying the input current I, the collector current is varying. So, the output current is dependent on the upon the input current I. So, this is the current control device. So, the current amplification factor or current gain for common base configuration alpha DC is equal to IC upon I, and the output current is equal to IC majority plus IC minority. IC majority is alpha I and IC minority is ICBO. So, IC majority is alpha I, you can take from this. ICBO is collector to base current when emitter is open. What will be the value of alpha? What can be the value of numerical value of alpha? Alpha is nothing but IC upon IE. IC is equal to IC is equal, this is IC, I is equal to IB plus IC. So, you can see that from here that IC upon IC, so it should be less than 1. And what will be the value of alpha AC? Alpha AC is nothing but change in collector current upon change in emitter current by taking the VCB constant. So, this is all about the common base configuration. Thank you.